Hi, welcome to the lead UCC for February. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Somebody hasn't told you happy Valentine's Day already. I'll go ahead and do the presentation and then we'll have an open session. We'll let folks, I know Robert's got some stuff that he wants to do after everybody else gets through talking. Without further ado, go ahead and roll through this. Just a little standard, want to let you know that there's surveying companies that have deemed to have caused the damage without calling a ticket. And he got this information from Duke Energy and Piedmont Natural Gas. There's been roughly 600 emails that have been sent out to these individuals with the linked surveys of why they did not call. And then a paper copy report will be rolled up at the end of that to be published for everybody to see. We've got, let me get my little laser point going on here. We've got 4 new hires coming on. So we've got 48 CSRs that are spread out across the state, help us take this call volume. And again, we're looking for a spring rush. 3 of the CSRs are bilingual, so we can take the calls from the Spanish community that we know are out there and are actively calling before they excavate. The excavation conference started yesterday and it's going through the 16th. That's where Miss Ann Rushing is now. So we didn't have our meeting yesterday, which didn't hurt my feelings, but I love her. So, yeah. As a reminder, if you are a locator or you have a contract locator for your utility, you must put your operator ID at the beginning, the end, in every, anybody know?
200.
200 linear foot, Robert knows. Yeah, 200 linear foot. Operator ID. Now, with that being said, the flags do suffice. If you have the flags with your information on there, that's operator ID. But what I do tell folks is if somebody comes by and pulls those flags up, after you get through marking, your operator ID is gone, right? So every now and then you might want to populate a little bit in paint on the ground so you can check that box when somebody comes and checks up. Please perform a site visit if evidence exists of facility, even though the positive response says everything's been marked and you see one, you are required to call a 3-hour notice by law. Not Parrish is saying that, that is the NC 811 North Carolina law. Last but not least, stay warm. Spring is still a couple months away. It's going to be pretty nice today, I understand. I might have to call in sick after this meeting. I don't know if I could do that or not. Obviously, it's well attended here, but if we have folks raise their hand who's not with Dominion, there's probably only going to be 2 of us in the room, 1 more online. So we like the Dominion folks being here because you can let us know the projects or issues you have going on in the field. With that being said, we'd like to get anybody else who has a utility within Lee County. If it's Duke Energy, Hyper Networks is on the line now, about Segra, or they've changed name now. They're Lumen, CenturyLink, Google Fiber. We know that there's might not be right in the middle, but probably skirting around somewhere. So we would like to have some representation from those folks, as well as government, and then the contractors who actually perform the work, right? If you guys do all your work, then that's cool. But if you have subcontractors that work for you, that do your install, whether it's a new service or a new gas main, you know, having them here representing what's going on in the field will be awesome as well. You know, Chuck does all the locating for Lisa. You guys are good there.
You said you had Hyper on the line?
Yeah, Hyper Networks is online.
They're here.
They're in attendance, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to me.
Hey, we got some new banners. I gave most of mine to my counterpart on the eastern part of North Carolina, but if you would like one of those, can let me know and I can grab you some. I can run them back up here. You guys are not but about an hour down the road from where I live. So if you would like to display the new banners, this is what they look like. I have to populate a form off of one of our websites. Let the folks at NC 811 know who's got these banners. There's a QR code at the bottom left over here, as you can see. If I can get my point, yeah. So the QR code, you take a picture of it, and that lets us know where you're gonna display this better. High visibility is what we prefer, right? Some folks have got them in the fence in the backyard, and the only people can see them is the folks who work there. Hopefully, the folks who work there know they're supposed to call 811 before they do any type of excavation. All right, let's jump into numbers. So this is going to be across the state of North Carolina, and we're looking at the locate request. This is by ticket, and you can see last month we had a 20.16 increase over January of 2022. And then year to date, you may or may not know, it's an anomaly, right? Year to date, there's only 1 month to do the year to date, so it's always going to be the same as the current month. Again, January 2022 versus last month, a 16.1% increase in the transmissions. Does anybody remember what constitutes the difference between a ticket and a transmission is? So if I pick the phone up, 123 North Main Street, I just generated 1 ticket, right? We draw a polygon around that 123 North Main Street to see how many utilities are going to be affected. And right now it's about 5.4 to 5.5 transmissions that go out to the different utility owners that's generated off of that 1 ticket. So looking at Lee, you can see the 3 hour went from 15 to 69, which is a 360% increase. The new tickets increased as well. 684 is a 40.5% increase. And unfortunately, the ticket updates, they increased from 147 to 716, just shy of a 400% increase. The average locates per day, 75 for last month. So that's usually, you guys don't have that many in a month, do you?
Hyper. I'm glad you told me.
Let's see. So out of the 1,509, you guys, Sanford had 1,437, and then some of the smaller, I mean, at least they did call some in, but yeah. So Sanford being the seat always generates. Last month, you had 10 reported damages in Lee County. Did Dominion have any at all? Damages last month? Everybody was thinking safe around your product? Outstanding. Cool. The North Carolina Underground Damage Prevention Review Board is getting ready to meet April 18th at 10. That's going to be at the NC811 Event Center. If you would like to know more information, you can go to their URL here, and once I upload this to the UCC, it'll be there you can go back and check it out again. But if you've never been to that website, go check it out, let you know who sits on the board, what entity they represent. So they are nominated and then they're vetted to make sure they're good to go, and they're appointed by the governor to sit on that board. The state UCC is going to meet March the 21st, Dominion Energy in Raleigh, and that's going to start at 10. And the North Carolina Locate Resolution Partnership Committee is going to meet March the 22nd at 11, again at the Greensboro 811 Event Center. That will be a hybrid in case you can't physically be there in person. And the link to that is at the ncucc.org website. I'm not going to talk about that because dates done passed, but the Barnhill Contracting 2023 Construction Rodeo is going to take place the 24th of this month. And that's going to be in Fayetteville on Murchison Road from 8 to 4. If you'd like to attend. I think we're going to have a 811 tent set up there doing some giveaways. I do Fort Bragg, but I don't do Fayetteville. That's Mr. Howard Corey's area. It's just a roll up of if you are a chairperson, the event you can attend is going to be the joint North Carolina, South Carolina UCC. It's actually going to be in Cherokee this year, coming up fast. They're going to have 30 seats open for locators. Same as they did last year. It's going to be 3 days of locating training, or 2.5 days of locating training. And it's not just on one machine. They're going to have you proficient on multiple machines you're locating. So if you had a chairperson, or if you just want to send anybody, Mike, Might probably go himself, but no. It's a good time. If you've never been to one, you meet a lot of folks from across the industries. You'll see a lot of folks from Dominion, Piedmont Natural Gas, Duke Energy will be there too, as well as the other industries.
Oh my God, you got it again. Golf. There's a golf match too. Just want to know about that.
Can't say that in front of work, folks, you know, I gotta say that on the side, right? Come on, man. Yeah, so golf is Wednesday. It's a beautiful course. I hadn't played it up there in the mountains, but I do understand that it's a nice view.
Absolutely beautiful.
So golf is Wednesday. They'll have a social hour meet and greet with hors d'oeuvres Wednesday night. Then the business session actually starts Thursday. They'll have a nice dinner Thursday night, half a day Friday. They usually break sometime around 12 noon to give you time to drive back home to your home of record. Yep. Again, NCA 11 or the NCUCC is where you can go to find out where we're going to be out and about with the different entities. Dig Logic. So just as the FYI again, I know I've said it at least 3 times in the past few months. Web TMS is going away. Dig Logic for 811 is going to replace that. Now, you don't have to use Dig Logic if you don't want to. There's a multitude of platforms out there that you can say, hey, we want to use these. But Dig Logic is the one that is going to work with the 811. All of them will work with 811, but this is the one that we're looking at using to replace Web TMS right now, I guess is what I should say. So if you are an excavator or locator and you want to be able to manage your tickets a whole lot more efficiently, then Dig Logics is something that you probably want to look into.
Chris, when did you say that was coming online?
I think Web TMS, the end of life for that thing is going to be October.
Okay.
Yeah, October of this year. And we started talking about it, what, Chuck, 2 or 3 months ago?
Yeah.
At the end of last year, we were letting folks know that it's coming. Now, it's not, I don't think it's fully functional yet, but you can go get the pricing, check the demo out on their website. They'll be happy to talk to you. Happy to talk to some of your folks who are actually will be using the Dig Logic out in the field. If you reach out to them, they'll be more than happy to do that. So some of the things you can create and track your tickets. You can verify clients and receive instant notification of positive response. I believe, I watched the video, but I believe you'll have an opportunity to upload some pictures of your locates onto this repository as well. So I was out there locating, here's where I located type of thing. Don't quote me on that, but from what I've seen from the demo, I believe you can do that. There's your NCA 1 education team led by Miss Ann Rushing. And again, a copy of this PDF form along with the sign-in roster, and then the meeting video minutes will be uploaded to the NCUCC. Yes, in case you want to check it out later. You can always grab that URL and send it to somebody. And they can transcribe everything I say. I don't like it. We only use the video. We don't use the transcription. All right, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the floor. Jason, would you like to go first to let us know the projects you got going on or the issues you have going on within Elite County?
We're working, the team works on one project. Right now we're on the south side corner. We haven't had that many problems. Most of the locates are, utilities are in the air. So it's been pretty smooth so far.
Okay, thank you. We'll start up here and I'll keep Robert for last because I know he's going to spiel. You got any projects or any issues going on out in the field or anything you like? He's just happy to be here.
Yep.
Yep.
We're good.
Good.
Yeah.
I think I'm just happy to be here.
I appreciate the biscuits. It was good. It's awesome.
Just happy to be here.
They're gonna put it all on your shoulders, brother.
I can't think of anything. We still have that project going on 42 that one day we'll be done with. It's been dragging on for years. But it's supposed to be wrapping up here shortly. Nothing else other than that, just services.
And I guess you guys weren't part of the 10 damages that reported to 811 last month, which is good, right? You're not losing a product. You're not having to go out there and repair that system.
Okay.
Is there anybody beside you? You know?
Yeah, I've got, well, a couple things. I wish Brad was here. He could elaborate a little bit more on it. I had a new project request for Hickory Grove subdivision, which is off of Cool Springs Road and Winter Green. It's, they're installing, 3,705 feet of 4-inch plastic, 3,800 feet of 2-inch plastic. And it's gonna be a total of 132, services. And then there's another subdivision, Autumnwood Phase 3, they're working on. That's on Cool Springs Road, off of Cool Springs Road as well. That's 4-inch plastic main, 2-inch plastic main. 26 plastic services in that.
Something going on like Fort Church Road too.
Yeah, they're running, I think it's about 650 feet of 8-inch plastic, on Rocky Fork Church Road to, asphalt plant. They are in service.
Is 8-inch the biggest that you guys are running right now? Been approved to run 8-inch?
Biggest plastic.
Yeah.
And then they've been working on, a main on, is that Pea Ridge Road? Somewhere up that way. For FedEx plan, I think they're still working on that.
42.
Yeah.
Bid that's going on.
Yeah, they haven't started.
So they can ready to do something on Harvey Park Road too. They're gonna extend something in that loop.
They've already completed Harley Falls.
Oh, okay.
They've completed that for now, unless they're gonna add something. All right, Mr. Cole.
Oh, don't have nothing that ain't been talked about.
Hey, then stole your thunder.
Yeah. There got us.
Got anything? Good? All right, Robert, it's up to you, bro.
I'm up. I'm Robert Memory. Just to give you a quick background on myself. I was 30 years with the NCDOT. Last 11, I was a state utility agent, but I've been in utilities. That's all I've done for 36 years dealing with utilities. I'm now with Colliers Engineering and Design for the last 5 years. However, I've still been working on DOT initiatives, and one of them is called Project Atlas. Just give you a quick background on Project Atlas. I always call it a GIS system on steroids. About 800 layers of data, and each layer contains different information that a project engineer can, when they're looking at a study area, they can go to these locations in this data bank and actually bring up what's in that area, whether it's wetlands, and give you a quick example of, it's all about project delivery, accelerating project, reducing time and money. So, and I always give this example, the U.S. Post Office. They're looking at a corridor and they're looking at a study area, U.S. Post Office, federal government. From a right-of-way claim, if the DOT, North Carolina DOT got looking at it and they were actually going to take some of that right-of-way, that's over 2 years just to deal with the right-of-way with the federal government. And you can't condemn. So you can see they're going to try to avoid areas like this for project acceleration. But at the same time, utilities are one of the biggest showstoppers, but at the same time, also very costly. And when the DOT thinks about utilities, the mentality today is it's not, they can look at, well, they can just move because it's gonna cost them to move. They're not looking at it like that. They're looking at who's ever paying for it. The taxpayers, the rate users, they're gonna have to pay for it. And that's not, that's just not a good alternative when looking at trying to develop a project. So what they're looking at now is part of the Project Atlas. They've got a layer dedicated to utilities. And the DOT's going out, well, actually the DOT's not, I am. But we're going out and meeting with different companies one-on-one to actually build a partnership to where the utility company will share their data plans into the system, which is not going to be open to the public. They're looking at transferring electronic files, and I'll have to, we've had some success with some of the companies, some of the telecom companies have just given all their electronic files over to us. So that information has been put in. So when the designer's looking at an area, they know what utility, they know that particular utility is out there. With Dominion, I've been looking at the gas. I don't have for project related, if it's project related, and that's what we've been going after. I've not had any issues getting a PDF file showing the system, but PDF's not working for DOT. They got to have it electronic. So I'll be meeting with Dominion to discuss this further. But it's about looking at if Dominion's got a gas line or power line, whatever. This case, if we're looking at a large gas main, high pressure gas main, if DOT can avoid it and not move it, that's exactly what they want to do. They want to start trying to figure out how do we design this to not move this facility or either lessen the impact on that particular facility. So this is what Project Atlas is all about. I realize you're not so much going to be involved in that side of it, but there is a lot of interest. Now, with that said, I had to get creative as a consultant with DOT, and it was confirmed. I had a meeting yesterday. We met for an hour and a half, and everybody's in agreement that the encroachment submittal process is going to change. Right now, companies throw in PDF files. That's going to change. It's going to actually redesign the system to where an electronic file will have to be submitted into the encroachment processing when you're going to install facilities inside the DOT's right of way. That information will go to Project Atlas. And it will be in the encroachment. It will clearly state the DOT will keep this as a depository records in Project Atlas. So, because they're having trouble getting the maps, they're going to start mapping it. They're also going to start mapping it from a highway standpoint when they use subsurface utility engineering. I don't know how familiar you are with subsurface utility engineering, but that is an application to where they go out, if they're using level B, they'll go out and get the exact alignment of that facility, exactly where it is in the field, and they'll digitize that information. If they need to know the depth of it, they'll use what's called level A. They'll actually pothole it, what I like to call a test hole, and actually expose it, take pictures of it, look at the material, get the elevation of that line where it's at in the ground. Now, when I talk about SUE, that does not, under no circumstances, take the place of 811. Some people think SUE because it is accurate records, it never takes the place of 811. So you're going to see a lot more probably subsurface utility engineering. There's actually an engineer with Dominion in Durham has spoke to me last week about coming back together to start looking at for Dominion to use subsurface utility engineering on some of their larger projects. That way they can design it and go ahead and avoid utilities or know what utilities are in that area. They'll know so they can now offset, do whatever they need to do to not, again, be delayed by another utility company. So even Dominion's thinking about using SUE, but like I said, it does not take the place of 811. So this is what's happening from a DOT standpoint, and also in the industry. You're going to probably start seeing a lot more of the subsurface utility engineering. I've got to be in Vermont end of April, and that's why I'm going up there to talk about subsurface utility engineering, because the industry used to pretty much be used by DOT or a consultant firm designing a utility. But now the industry appears to be looking at to use that application more in project from the standpoint of designs. So that's pretty much it. If y'all got any questions for me, feel free to ask, but there's some changes coming. So
So that's what all these surveying crews are doing right now.
a lot of
They're
the,
Part of your program, this program that you're talking about. There's a lot of surveys out there.
probably not the surveying. A lot of the surveying is because of development.
Okay.
It could be because of telecom. Telecom is putting, their telecom companies right now, they used to work in one, and I can't say who it is because I'm in, but they used to be in one specific southeastern county. They are now expanding into multiple counties. Like, it's like who can get there first with broadband. So there's a lot of telecom work taking place, and a lot of that's having to be, but there's also a lot of development coming, and these developers are already having, surveys done, because they're gonna have to put, they're gonna widen the lane. I'm working with a developer right now that's looking at over 600 sites where they're gonna be widening the lanes. And that's gonna impact all of y'all. I mean, it will.
Here in Lee County?
Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a massive, and Lee County probably is on that list.
We got a lot going on right
Yeah, so I think when I look at the cuts or the damage, I think overall it's still pretty good because there's so much more broadband taking place now. And I hate to say it, but I came up on a mom and, well, I don't want to call it a mom and pop company, but that's exactly what it was. A few weeks ago, left my house and I stopped because I didn't want them taking out my service. They were out there getting ready to do a bore. And I know why. They had not gotten an encroachment agreement. They had not called 811. Oh no, they were just gonna bore into the road. And
I hope that wasn't around here.
no, it was in Harnett County, and Troy Baker, you probably never dealt with Troy Baker, but he's tough. He's with DOT, and boy, he put the hammer down. Again, that was a Saturday morning too.
Oh, man.
So see, Saturday morning, DOT's not running around, nobody's out there. I'm gonna get this in real quick. They won't even know I crossed on the road. Never called in a locate ticket.
Slide that thing in.
And it took me 30 minutes to find somebody to speak English. I kept telling you gotta call somebody.
Exactly.
And somebody finally got it and said, no, they shouldn't be working here. They did have some flagging further down. They had nothing there. So, I mean, even I'm not with DOT, but if you're in this industry, you better stop and start asking questions because it's not a gas line on that particular road, but let's say there was. It's pretty much all buried telecom, but a buried telecom services me too. So,
Power.
yeah. That's it for me.
All right, thank you, Rob. Jason, I've noticed that you did put your name in the industry or the company you represent. Do you have any contact information that you would like to share, like telephone or email?
I'll put my email in there.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. Well, it looks like the next time we're gonna get together is gonna be March 14th. So again, happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you March 14th right here at Dominion Energy. Thank you very much.